Welcome to Whitney Alex Works recap of The Bachelor Season 27. The newest Bachelor for 2023 is 26-year-old Zach Shallcross, a tech executive originally from Anaheim Hills, California, but currently resides in Austin, Texas. Zach placed third in Rachel's group of men on the last season of The Bachelorette, and Zach is ready to find his wife, his best friend, his lifetime partner, and he is hoping that she is one of 30 women from across the United States that are coming to Southern California to meet him at the Bachelor Mansion. We first catch up with Zach before night one, where he meets up with his mentor and former Bachelor number 17, Sean Lowe, who was the Bachelor 10 years ago and is a Bachelor success story, which is pretty rare, who is still with his final pick, Catherine, and has 3 children together. Zach looks up to Sean, hoping that he too can have a successful storyline and end up happy with one of the 30 women that have come to meet him. Well, with all that said, there is still some information that the viewer needs to know before another season begins. During the After the Final Rose of last season's Bachelorette season, Zach was introduced to 5 women from his season, and out of those 5 women, viewers on the East Coast were able to vote for America's First Impression Rose, and that went to Brianna, a 24-year-old entrepreneur from New Jersey. So for the first night, Brianna is safe from elimination. Alright, so the other women he met before the show were Bailey, Brooklyn, Kat, and Christina, so of course there's going to be some jealousy from the other women because there is already some repertoire going on, but that can of course only last for so long. With all of that pre-game information said and done, let's finally get started. Zach is greeted by host Jesse Palmer, and Zach is humbled but excited that he is the newest lead for this juggernaut franchise, and he really hopes one of the women arriving at the mansion can be his future wife. And soon he is meeting his cast of women who show up in the limos. First out of the limo is Jess from Florida, and they both confirm that they are nervous but excited to start this journey to find love. Next out of the limousine is Ariel from New York, then Charity from Georgia, Davia from South Carolina, who brings some champagne to lighten the mood and get rid of those pre-love nerves. And then all of a sudden, women are bringing Zach drinks of all sorts. Gabby from Vermont wants Zach to chug some maple syrup, which he found disgusting but was a good sport about it. And as more women meet Zach, he is gaining his confidence, and when Bailey comes out of the limo, who he met on After the Final Rose, Zach finally remembers her name right and even gives her a kiss. The first kiss already, where Zach says he already feels a spark with Bailey. And of course, the pre-5 women are looked at as a major competition as they already had a chance to meet Zach before the other 25 women. And we have to ask the question, do the pre-5 women have an advantage? Technically, yes, but for only so long. And more women are introduced, and the women are bringing bigger gimmicks, with Mercedes from Iowa bringing a pig named Henry to the mansion to greet Zach, which Zach found adorable, so yay for Mercedes. But Christina from Tennessee is bringing the party. Literally, a party bus arrives, and Christina shows up ready to get the night started. And last to show up is Brianna, dressed in a beautiful red rose gown and carrying America's First Impression Rose. She greets Zach and tells him that just because she has a rose night 1 doesn't mean she feels safe, and says she wants to get to know Zach better. So with 30 women introduced, Zach enters the mansion and the women are swooning over him. Zach thanks the women for being there, and he cites his parents' successful relationship as something he is striving for and hopes he can find his future wife, and most importantly, his best friend. He wants honesty in his journey, and he stresses that he will focus on open communication with all of the women. And of course, there is the First Impression Rose, which Zach will give out to one woman, which will make her safe for the first rose ceremony. With his introduction speech said, Zach starts to get to know the women, with him talking to Catherine, a registered nurse from Florida, and they have a good conversation. Next, we see Zach making a connection with Katie, another nurse, and they end up kissing each other. We then see Zach with party bus Christina, and they are getting to know each other better, where they play this or that. And when Christina says mountains, Zach says beaches. And when Christina says dinosaurs, Zach says dragons. So they can't agree on much, so they just start kissing each other. But a group of women enter the party bus, and everyone starts dancing. And when everyone is seeming to settle in, the reality of the situation comes to light. Jesse Palmer brings out the first impression rose, which makes all the women freak out, as many of them haven't had a chance to talk to Zach yet. And Zach makes another connection with neonatal nurse Genevieve, where they change a baby's diaper together. And then Zach makes a major connection with Greer, originally from Houston, Texas, but currently lives in New York. But she admits to Zach that when she was younger, she made her parents a PowerPoint about Austin, Texas, and reasons that they should move there, which Zach found very charming as he currently lives there, and they share a kiss. But something is occurring with a contestant named Madison from Fargo, North Dakota, and she is getting bothered that Zach is kissing other women on night one, and she wants a kiss as well, but at what cost? She talks to Zach one time, but doesn't get the kiss she wanted, so she interrupts Olivia M's conversation to try and get her kiss, but she forces it, and Zach isn't feeling it, so it's completely awkward, and Madison starts spiraling, and she starts sobbing, citing that the kiss wasn't what she envisioned. And well, Madison is continuing to spiral as the other women are feeling the pressure to talk to Zach, as there are 30 women all trying to get a conversation in with one man in the room. But as Madison is still spiraling over that awkward forced kiss, Zach is making a connection with Charity, who seems pretty sweet. She is a child and family therapist from Georgia, and they end up kissing each other. Zach also makes an early connection with Jess from Florida, the first woman out of the limo, and they end up kissing too. And with some early connections blooming, it's time for Zach to hand out the first impression rose, and he gives it to Greer from Texas. Zach was impressed with their connection, and he is hopeful for their future, and they both admit they are feeling something special beginning, and they end up kissing each other. But with that romance blooming, remember Madison? She's still spiraling apparently, and it's about to explode. Jesse Palmer announces that the cocktail party is over, and the first rose ceremony is upon them. But Madison from Fargo, North Dakota heads out to speak to Zach, and she questions their awkward kiss. But Zach is all about honesty, and he tells Madison that he isn't feeling it with her and sends her home before the rose ceremony. And all of a sudden, 29 women remain. Let the countdown begin. And it's all of a sudden time for the first rose ceremony, and Zach isn't messing around. He's sending home a large amount of contestants night one. Honesty and all, he's not feeling it with a lot of the women. So with Brianna and Greer safe, Zach calls out the following women in order, securing them a rose. First up, he calls Christina, then Charity. Next, he calls Bailey, then Jess, Genevieve, Davia, Allie, Brooklyn, Katie, Anastasia, Kylie, Gabby from Vermont, Catherine, Mercedes, Ariel, Victoria J, Kimberly, and the last rose goes to Kat. 20 women remain. Night one exits are Becca, Cara, Holland, Leica, Olivia L. and Olivia M., Sonia, Vanessa, and lastly Victoria E. And that's it for the first episode of Zach Shallcross's season of The Bachelor. Thank you for watching Whitney Alex Works' recap of The Bachelor Season 27, Episode 1, the premiere. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Whitney Alex Works for more videos in the future. See you soon for the next episode where the connections and the drama is just getting started.